Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Whenever someone makes a statement and it sounds outrageous or really out of the ordinary, you might want to ask that person for clarifications. Obviously what you maybe understand out of that statement could be not what really was expressed. So always clarifications, details could be requested, and after the person provides you with that, you have a better understanding on whatever he or she wanted to say. In this case we have Zelensky, who is the president of Ukraine, and he made some statements, and let's see how he what kind of details he brings to clarify the statements, because I think the statements are out of the ordinary and very illogical. But let's see, okay? Because sometimes things might seem illogical, but after a little bit of explanation, you figured it out. This article comes from Ukrainska Pravda from September 17th, 2022. Negotiating, this is what Zelensky said. Negotiating with the Russian Federation because of the fear of nuclear weapons is the beginning of the Third World War. So he says that negotiating with Russian Federation just because you're afraid of his or their nuclear weapons, it's the beginning of the Third World War. All right, I have many questions to ask, so maybe he's going to provide me the, as I said, details of whatever he means, clarifications. So he says this, this article comes from September 17th, yesterday. President Volodymyr Zelensky does not believe that Russia will use nuclear weapons. That's a statement that is based on, as he said, or whomever wrote this article, Katerina Tsychenko. He does not believe. Well, I want you to think, I want you to assess, to reason. I don't want you to believe. Right? Believing is something, that not necessarily has evidence or facts to back your beliefs. I don't want you to believe. I want you to think. I want you to analyze based on the information that you have, based on the people, the assessment of the people, based on historical patterns and all that. Okay, Zelensky? All right. So, from the very beginning, this doesn't seem to be right, to me at least. President Volodymyr Zelensky does not believe that Russia will use nuclear weapons. Okay, why? I would like to know that. But calls on the world to stop Russia's threats. Okay, how can you do that? Let's see. Maybe it's going to give us, whenever you criticize something, you have to give an alternative. Otherwise, you're just a nihilist. And that's not a good point. All right, quote, "It's a matter of destroying the earth, the beginning of it." Okay, we know if that happens. "I can't even understand how the special services, the intelligence agency of the world, the powerful minds of the world can allow Russia to even have a chance to think about it." I translate this. Why didn't you just assassinate Putin and the Russian government? That's how I translate this. So it says that it's a matter of destroying the earth, the beginning of it. So the threat is so great in this guy's mind, even though here we find that he doesn't believe that Russia will use it. So then, if he doesn't believe it, use it, then why is he saying that the threat is great? I see that's a contradiction, the way I see it. Then, I can't even understand how the special services, which is, who those are, the intelligence agencies of the world, the powerful minds, I don't think those guys are right there, of the world can allow, so they have to allow Russia to even have a chance to think about it. Okay, so what are your proposals? I think that you think of eliminating, assassinating, exterminating the democratically elected government of a country. So the people's choice. So, who just probably became crazy. That would be your escape, Mr. Zelensky. It seems to me that this will not happen, to be honest. Nevertheless, we cannot predict anything definitely with this state. That's true. But I'm sorry, being afraid of something that this state can do, and therefore coming to an agreement with them in one way or another is the worst possible outcome. This is precisely then the beginning of the Third World War. What? So he says that he's afraid that these guys can do something. But on the other hand, here he says that he does not believe that Russia will use nuclear weapons. But then he says that, I'm sorry, I'm afraid of something that this state can do. Well, you're not. It's a contradiction. And therefore, coming to an agreement with them in one way or another is the worst possible outcome. So if you go and talk to them and negotiate, is the worst possible outcome. Okay, which one would be better? Attack them? If you attack them, they will definitely use those if they lose, don't you think? Now, if negotiation is not good, attacking them militarily is not good, what's the third option? Is this the one that he talked in the previous paragraph about the intelligence and the services, means in assassinating Putin and all that? I think that's what he refers to. And is it the worst possible outcome if you talk to them? Okay, if it's talking is not good, what kind of actions are good? This guy, this? All right. This is precisely then the beginning of the Third War. I would like to see the connection, Zelensky. Zelensky stressed that, and I'm quoting, there can be no dialogue with people who threaten with nuclear weapons. All right, let's see who threatens. We need to think about how to continue living in the world without such people. How can you live in a world without such people? By eliminating them. Because there will always be people like that, and obviously I think that you could be one of them if you would have those weapons. So, is he instigating to genocide or killing certain kind of people who think in a certain way without acting in that way? He didn't prove yet that these guys would use it, and when he says that these guys are just threatened with nuclear weapons, let's go and see the Russian statements. The Russian, I mean the leadership, the ones that are really in control of the possibility of using nuclear weapons. I'm not talking about three weasel politicians in the Duma. They have no power to do that. I'm not talking about the three politicians that are in certain kind of parties. I'm talking about the ones who really can make decisions, and that's Putin, the military, right? The leadership. I haven't heard them once saying we will use that. All they have is, guys, if you continue like this, I see escalation to that. That was the extent, one. And the second one is, hey, our doctrine says this. So if we are pushed to that point, you know the doctrine. We have to do that for our own survival. Is like I tell you, guy, if you come in my house and you try to, harm my family, I will defend them with all means necessary. Oh, you're threatening me? No, I'm telling you what's going to happen. That's exactly, and you know what's going to happen if you push Russia to extinction, or anything like that, or at least, So, according to the president, when famous Russian politicians, well, if I mention names, you will never know their names, never recognize their names, so they're not famous, okay? Say in what cases Russia could use nuclear weapons, yes, they have a doctrine. The United States has a doctrine. Israel has a doctrine. Military doctrines is made for the defense of the country. All countries have a doctrines, including Romania had a doctrine if we are attacked and the Romanian statehood is threatened and blah, blah, blah. All countries. So what is he talking about? The famous for politicians. There's no famous politicians. It's just important ones that have authority and ones that don't. That could do something. We know who those are. And the ones that we cannot do, I don't care about them. Say in what cases Russia could use nuclear weapons. Yes, everything that comes after the words in case of, after some condition, should not even be listened to. You don't want to talk to? Okay, then push it as far as you can, and then it's going to hit you and you don't know why. You have to know why. You have to discuss with people. It is necessary to understand who said it and do everything possible so that this person does not say anything or threaten anyone else. How? How can you do that? It's necessary to understand who said it. Who said it? Did Putin say it? No. Lavrov? No. Shoigu? No. Who else is there so important? No Peskov, no Zakharova. Who else is Pushilin or whatever Pushilin is? No. Nobody said anything about Medvedev. Medvedev is, if you attack us here, we're gonna. Medvedev is not is not a decision maker. He can be in the room. So what is he talking about? And he says no talking. I think on the contrary, talking. And why is he so scared? Why is he so no talking? Nobody talks with the Russians because they're the bad dudes. Nobody. Hey, that means some people talk to the Russians, because there would be no talking with Russians at all. You wouldn't be feeling the need to emphasize that, hey, Russians are bad. If you negotiated with them, there's going to be the Third World War somehow. But if you attack them and hit them, there will not be the Third World War. What is this guy talking about? Now I understand that his brain is not the main organ that he uses to make a living. But it's just, just think about it. No negotiation. No war, like on the battlefield. So then what? And if you push the Russians and you win, you get to the doctrine, which means we have to use that. We have to. Then what's the alternative? I'm telling you, the alternative is getting rid of those people, as he said over there. We can't live with these people on this planet. What is he talking about? Is he 5 years old? All right, then he is the puppet over there. He has the megaphone, and he has to inform us how to think, and I don't think he has that ability, though, to think. He thinks in a certain way. I don't want to look too much down on him, but these statements with these details didn't convince me of anything. On the contrary, it didn't make sense, and it was really, really illogical. And I think he also instigated the extermination of a group of people that he might not like how they think. Not what they do, how they think. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.